Good morning. What? I'm in Canal, Winchester, Ohio, and I just went through the National Barber Museum, and they're normally only open on Fridays and Saturdays, but I just had an amazing tour with Jeanette Schneider, who opened the museum just for me to give me a private tour. So I really want to thank Jeanette and everybody else in Canal, Winchester, and if you're driving through, you should check out the National Barber Museum. Really interesting and something a little different. Excitement continues as I continue to be let into things that don't normally have access. So I am now in the Rickenbacker house that is on the location of the Motts Military Museum, and they let me in and I'm walking around. I'm the only one here, and it's pretty cool that I get to do this. Today, getting into museums when they're not even really open. And so I just left Ohio's small town museum where this really nice man named John had let me in. So I got to see the world's oldest traffic light, as well as a lot of really cool stuff about Asheville, Ohio that I had no idea. Such as in 1964, they actually had the first test for a self-driving car. Who knew Asheville, Ohio was a town of the future? Check it out if you're ever here. And stop. And we drive. On our way to Moonville Tunnel. Well, on my way to find Moonville Tunnel, the road became a gravel road, which became a dirt road, which then became a one-lane dirt road. Extremely treacherous going around that mountain. I also forgot to download an offline map with Google. And then my phone disconnected. I have no internet and no cell service. So good job me. But I do love a good adventure and a good story. So now I'm in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, without any contact to the outside world, still trying to find the tunnel, hoping that it's down that way. So I'm gonna go check it out. Wish me luck. Well, a car of little old men just stopped by to confirm that the bridge, or the tunnel I mean, is that way. They were hoping to be able to drive. They were here 50 years ago. And they couldn't get out of their car today to be able to walk down there. But I got to hear a lot of nice little old stories about their time here. And they promised me they weren't Amish, which I thought was funny. But nice to meet people here in Ohio. All right, time to go through the tunnel. Here we go. Made it. Met a guy named Phil. He couldn't tell me when this thing was built, but there's a plaque in here that says it was refurbished, I think in 1903, 1904. Yeah, 1903 to 4. You can read that there. You can see in the tunnel here, a lot of graffiti on the walls, but that's okay, kind of cool. And if we come back out, we'll leave the tunnel. There is a plaque at the very top. You can't really see probably because of the sun. Doesn't matter. Can't really make it out though. And it looks like maybe it was built in the late 1800s. And talking to Phil from Cincinnati, he thinks that maybe it was, built Civil War times, so 1860s. Either way, pretty cool. When I was also talking to the little old men in the car, they were telling me that Amtrak came through here. They also were telling me that if I'm staying in the area, which unfortunately I'm not, I should go check out Hope Lake. Nice little name. As you can see, I'm still going through this tunnel. All the graffiti on the walls. I like it. It's on the other side too. It's a little darker over there, you can't really see. Almost at the end. Light at the end of the tunnel. Too bad I'm walking away from it. Just kidding. There's light on this side too. Huh. It was nice meeting Phil. I met another couple in the tunnel. They also didn't know when it was built, but big mystery. Good thing we have Google to look at later. They should really put a plaque or something up in here. Now I'm exiting the tunnel. See a little bit of the graffiti behind me. Tunnel at the top. Moonville Tunnel. Keep going. Pretty cool if you're in Ohio. Kentucky, walking by a farm. There's definitely some sheep over here. I can hear them. Ah, they're definitely loud sheep. Oh my goodness. Oh, kind of scary sheep actually. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I think I woke the sheep up.
Yeah, Kdubs? Now that we're staying the night in Kentucky, can we count this as State 34?
No,
Why not?
we're saving it for the Kentucky Derby. Besides, we haven't really done anything here.
We did wake those sheep.
That's the opposite of what we should be doing.
Yeah, you're right. I guess we should be counting them. Night, Kathleen.
Good night, Kdubs. Timeline behind me, and it's pretty cool because in the late 1800s signs started without any lights, and they were illuminated really just by putting some gold on it so it would just shine. And then in the early 1900s the electric light bulb came to be, but in the 1930s neon was the thing. And then from the 1950s through 80s you had plastic. I am here in Cincinnati, Ohio at the American Sign Museum, and few people know this about me, but I actually love signs and I love things that glow. And if I could, I would have an entire room in my house dedicated just to having the lights, neon, and things that are bright and glow. So I'm having an amazing time. But if you're driving through Cincinnati, Ohio, you should definitely stop and give this place a look. It is really amazing. I am in Cincinnati, Ohio at the Spring Grove Cemetery, which is the third largest cemetery in the U.S., and it's actually on the National Historic Landmarks. And I have stopped because behind me is the C.C. Brewer Monument and also his grave. And apparently, according to Weird Ohio, legend has it that Mr. Brewer was an optometrist. And when he died, he had glass eyes, and he had asked for them to be removed and put in his monument so that he could watch over things. However, upon some further digging, I found that Mr. Brewer was not an optometrist. In fact, he was a real estate agent and an insurance salesman, amongst some other things. He had disowned his 3 daughters and spent the end of his life in a mental institution after trying to burn down one of his own buildings. So I don't really know what's going on with Mr. Brewer, which of the sources are correct, but I might have to come back later and do a little seance to get to the bottom of this. Walking through a graveyard, as you do. Walking backwards in a graveyard. Maybe that means that spirits won't follow me. Having a good day. Like cemeteries almost as much as I like signs. Who knew? Toy shop, and I am really excited because today we have virtual reality, but these are the grandfather of virtual reality. Good thing her husband didn't sell her. Well, I just finished at the Garst Museum in Greenville, Ohio, where there was an amazing exhibit about Annie Oakley. And those of you who don't know who she is, you might recognize her name from Annie's Got Your Gun, which was a musical, but not an accurate depiction of her life. The real Annie Oakley was famous in the late 1800s through the 1900s and was the first woman superstar in America. She stood at only 5 feet tall and was a little powerhouse just like me. And she had an amazing saying, which I'd like to repeat for you because it was really inspiring. And it goes, aim at a high mark and you'll hit it. Maybe not the first time, nor the second, and maybe not the third. But keep aiming and shooting, for practice is the only thing that makes you perfect. Finally, you'll hit the bullseye for success. So thank you, Annie Oakley, for being super inspiring. And if anybody is here in Greenville, Ohio, I encourage you to check out the Garst Museum. way to explore a reformatory in Mansfield, Ohio. It is freezing, 50 degrees, gloomy today. I put on my sunglasses though, hoping to manifest some sun. Let's see if it works. One of the most paranormal areas of the prison. Apparently there was somebody in here that multiple people have recorded screaming, "Get me out." I haven't heard anything yet, but we will see if we can catch anything. Are really tiny. This was also the location where Shawshank Redemption was filmed. Lots of paranormal activity apparently going on in here. I had passed a little while ago a location where somebody set themselves on fire at the age of 22 because he didn't want to survive here anymore. And there's been a lot of ghost hunters, a lot of paranormal activity, people saying that they can hear people screaming, "Get me out of here," and also at least one account of somebody actually being attacked in the prison by a paranormal spirit. I have behind me the Mansfield Reformatory, which opened its doors in 1896 and closed them in 1990. And it was used as a location to rehabilitate young men through hard work and education. And after it closed in 1990, it was actually used as the movie location for the Shawshank Redemption, a movie I had not seen, but I think now I will actually check it out after having toured the cells, seen what they looked like. And unfortunately, I didn't see any paranormal activity, but I heard that this is quite the fun place to come on Halloween. So if you are driving through Mansfield, Ohio, you might want to check it out. Officially in Amish country, and I was driving by and I saw a sign for homemade fresh Amish cheese, and so I stopped at this little market with their farm, and I got myself some summer sausage as well as some Gouda, my favorite cheese, and I'm gonna go have a little picnic here in Amish country. I am here in Sugarcreek, Ohio, home of the world's largest cuckoo clock, and I thought to myself, that seems a little strange because I was in Treeberg, Germany in 2014, and they claim to have the world's largest cuckoo clock as well. So I turned to my old trusty pal, Google, and I saw that this clock has had this title of world's largest since 1977, and it stands at 23 feet high. And then I went to Treeberg's website and I saw that they've had the title apparently since 1997. So I thought to myself, surely that must be a larger clock. But nope, looked it up, only 15 feet tall. So at least according to me, Kathleen Walsh, this clock can remain the world's largest. And Sugarcreek seems like a really cute little German town here in Ohio. I'm still waiting to try my cheese and sausage that I was able to get. There's the Amish right behind me. And unfortunately, you see that my sunglass manifestation did not work, and it is raining. I just watched the show that came on here in Sugarcreek with the world's largest cuckoo clock. How did it compare to Treeberg, Germany's also claimed world's largest cuckoo clock? I have to say that despite the lies of the Germans over in Treeberg about having the world's largest cuckoo clock, which we proved wrong because this one is 23 feet tall when that one's only 15, they had a much better show. They had it to Edelweiss, which is not a German song, is actually from The Sound of Music, but we already know the Germans are lying to us, so it doesn't matter anyway. Sorry, Germany, I'm just kidding. I love you guys. Treeberg was an amazing town. Too bad I didn't make videos back then. I'll have to go back so I can make one. However, I would say that you guys do win the prize in my heart as the best show for the world's largest cuckoo clock. Sugarcreek needs to step up their game. It is absolutely pouring out. My sunglasses clearly did not work. I'm never gonna get to have my picnic with the delicious sausage and cheese from the Amish country. I was supposed to drive down about 2 hours to one of the state parks, but because it's raining so hard, I'm gonna call it an early night and head to my Airbnb, which is about, 2 hours away. It would have been another 4 hours of driving today, so I guess that's nice. But, I don't know, I'm still hoping it clears up. To my Airbnb, very excited because I'm going to be having a picnic in the living room with my sausage and Amish cheese, added some grapes for good measure, and they have a DVD player here. Very exciting, very old school. But I'm going to be watching this movie, Thoroughly Modern Millie, and you might be thinking, wait a minute, after seeing the cuckoo clock, shouldn't you be watching Sound of Music? And first of all, I say, go on your own vacation. Second of all, maybe you're right. But third of all, I'd rather watch this, another Julie Andrews classic. And it has Carol Channing, one of my favorites. Raspberries. No, not raspberries. Grapes. driving through Amish country today. A little more hopeful about the weather. Got my sunglasses back on. Definitely still some cloud cover, but I see some glimpses of sun, which is nice. I'm hoping to end the day up on Lake Erie because I want to watch the sunset up there. So I'm at least hoping that the sun comes out just enough for me to see it set. I am excited because last night I stayed in somebody's basement. There was no door, but they were very nice, left me alone, and I ate a lot of cheese. It was so delicious, that Amish fresh cheese. Probably the only time I've ever had cheese that good was when I was in Holland, because they're also known for their cheese making. And I remember going into all the supermarkets and seeing all the wheels of cheese, like we'd have displays of meats. But anyway, that's a story for another day. This is not a Europe or a cheese video. This is all about Ohio. So where am I off to today? I am going to the Lantermans Mill, which is supposed to be like an old little village, probably have reenactments. I think something special hopefully will be going on because it is the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend. And then after that, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing. I might either check out some more waterfalls, or I did think I saw on the map that there was the Garfield National Historic Site. He's a president that not a lot of people talk about. He was not president for very long. But if I do go there, I guess you'll have to wait to hear that story for later. Stay tuned. That guy in front of me just picked up a hitchhiker. I'm not sure I would do that today. I would actually love to, because I think that would be an amazing story. But in this day and age, that's probably one thing that I wouldn't dare to do, even though I have done a lot of crazy and adventurous things in my life. That, unfortunately, will not be one of them. Well, it turns out I was wrong that Lantermans Falls is not a village. It's actually just an actual mill, Lantermans Mill. And what I'm trying to do is I found this random hiking trail, and there's, you can't even see it, but the bridge behind me, and there is the water gushing through. But what I'm trying to do is hike around and see if I can get down to the mill itself. Wish me luck. Well, I made it down to the mill. It's really, really pretty out here. You can also see the sun has finally come out. Woohoo! And behind me there is a waterfall. Very, very pretty. And you have the river with more falls coming down. Behind me is the bridge, and then right next to me is Lantermans Mill itself. So I'm inside Lantermans Mill. Very exciting. They just told me that today is the first day they've opened back up since 2019. They are producing flour, and I'm sure it's really delicious. They joked that they had to relearn everything because 2020 shut them all down, but congratulations to them for being a working mill and opening back up in these trying times. And are you guys Lantermans?
No. We just
Are
work
they
for
still?
the park.
Yeah.
There's still a bunch of Lantermans, but the Lantermans built this in 1845 and opened in 1846. It closed down in about 1886.
Okay.
In 1891, the Park District was formed, and then the next year, in 1892, the park bought it.
Okay.
So we've owned it 3 times as long as the Lantermans.
Yeah, yeah.
But now, it wasn't a working grist mill when the park bought it, and they didn't use it as one for quite a while. This was a nature center when I was a kid.
Ah.
You know, there were stuffed animals, things in formaldehyde.
I saw a picture over there.
2-headed cats, all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah.
But then in 1980, they took it back to what it started out as. It's just as it is today,
Yeah.
a working grist mill.
Did it ever shut down, except for last year? Was it always an operating mill?
It was been an operating mill since 1985.
Okay.
When they restored it and
Yeah.
reopened in 85.
Yeah.
Took a year to build it without modern equipment. Took 4 years to restore it with modern equipment. And we get a chuckle out of that.
Right, yeah, that's always fun. I am down inside the mill, actually seeing the wheel that's turning, that's operating upstairs, where they're actually grounding to make the flour and the cornmeal and everything else. And they were saying that there's only 5% of all the mills that were made in America actually had an indoor water wheel. And it was great here because that actually extended the season, but it's a really rare find. It's definitely something I want to do on my graduation day. As you stare off into the water, looking at the future of life. There's always rapids, but if you keep going, you can make it through. I'm thinking about going and telling that graduation kid what I just said about the rapids. Hopefully they don't mind or think I'm a weirdo. Congratulations! I'm thinking about the rapids of life behind me. You guys are gonna make it. People laugh at me. It was a courtesy laugh, but that's okay. I am on the front porch of the 20th President of the United States, James Garfield's house in Ohio. He was only president for 200 days. For those of you who don't know, he was assassinated. Actually, his last few days were spent trying to go to the Jersey Shore to meet up with his wife and his children. Some things that I learned today was that this front porch is actually a very important piece of history, because before his presidency, people were not doing traditional campaigns, and I like to think that this laid the groundwork of my favorite president, Teddy Roosevelt, ability to campaign at the back of a train car. Speaking of trains, on this property, there was a temporary train station that was put in just so that people could stop at his house, come to his front lawn, and hear his amazing speeches from his front porch. He was known as a great public speaker. He had won the hearts of the American public because of his bootstrap story. And some things that I learned was that his favorite dinner activity was to actually quiz his kids in spelling, something that reminded me of my own childhood, where my dad used to actually quiz me in math and the rest of my siblings and the powers of two, because he was convinced that it was going to be super critical in our careers. And I guess as a computer scientist, it turned out to be true. Another thing that I had heard today was that President Garfield did not actually want to be president. It was a series of accidents in his life. He was a great scholar. He was somebody that had been a sailor and a lawyer, and somebody that had then become a senator in 1880, went to the Republican National Convention, and they threw his name in the ring, and he got nominated. An amazing skyrocketing career. And he liked to say that his life was a series of accidents. And I agree with him. I also think that my life has been a series of accidents and things that I didn't necessarily intend to happen, but have enjoyed. However, the scholar in me is going to take his saying a little bit further. And I don't think that it's about just accidents or what he thought with divine intervention. In fact, I think that it is a series of accidents, but you have to place yourself somewhere that you can let the accidents happen. So you have to explore and be adventurous. And then you see what those accidents may take you. I am here in Willoughby Hills, Ohio. Happy accident, passing through and saw a sign for Squire Castle. And I said to myself, I have to check out the castle. And you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Kathleen. I didn't think this was a European video, as we've learned from the Germans and the Holland cheese. But guess what, guys? Ohio has castles too. Who knew? Amazing. And anyway, this castle was actually built by an old oil tycoon in the late 1800s. He had purchased this land, about 500 acres of it, and his intention was to turn the property into an old English manor, hence the castle. However, he only was able to build the servants' quarters, which you see behind me, because there was some kind of issue either with the land or the town, something, I don't know, we'll have to look it up later. But him and his daughter actually did use this location as their summer cottage on vacation. Pretty cool. Also, look how nice this day turned out to be. 70 degrees and absolutely stunning. All the people out here in Willoughby Hills, Ohio, enjoying the day. All right, where is my happy place? It is the beach. Jersey Shore is where I grew up. Not at the Jersey Shore, as you know, I'm in Ohio. But I found a beach. I made it to Lake Erie. Might as well be the ocean. Look at that, very massive. Cool little park here. Definitely another place that people are picnicking. I can smell the barbecue. Memorial Day weekend. I'm gonna go have a sit by the look-alike ocean, and I can also see, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, there's a lighthouse down there. I'm gonna go check that out too. Pretty cool. This is actually a working, functioning lighthouse. Had to climb over a whole bunch of rocks to get here and walk through sand. You can't get to it any other way. The beach itself was a little dirty, not quite like the Jersey Shore or even the Maine beaches and lighthouses, which are absolutely stunning and beautiful, but pretty cool and worth it all the same. Now I'm gonna keep on trekking here. Excuse my awful camera handiwork. One thing I'm gonna have to do coming home from this vacation is definitely invest in a better tripod. And actually, I think I'm gonna get a GoPro Fusion because that is actually gonna let me film a full 360. What is that?
This is private property.
Oh, this is private property? We came all this way?
Yeah,
Ah.
I'm trying to go in there too.
Well, you know, it's funny. I tried to drive over before and it said there was another entrance. And it was like, oh, Coast Guard property. So then I figured, okay, fine, I'll walk. But
This is interesting coming up here.
yeah, with all the rocks.
Yeah, I'm a little afraid, just a little.
Yeah, I know. Well, you made it. You're going to make it back. Bye. Friendly people everywhere you go, huh? as that lovely woman just said that I had met up with on the rocks, it is definitely private property here. But we've never let that stop us before, have we, Kathleen? No, we have not. So let's keep going. Private property sign. I don't know if you can see it, but it definitely says private property. But we have made it all this way. We have trekked over rocks and beaches. And, well, we didn't have to swim across Lake Erie, but we might as well have. I've never let private property stop me before. I could go into more Europe stories about how I broke into Oktoberfest, but I won't. Instead, I'm going to explore these rocks here since we've come this far. Why stop now? Keep climbing, keep trekking. What are all those sayings we've learned this weekend from Annie Oakley and James Garfield? I think it's about life is a series of accidents, and Annie Oakley said something about keep trying and keep doing. So we're going to do it. Sorry, somebody's over here. Come here a lot?
No, this is my first time here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. I'm from New Jersey, so
Oh, wow.
just traveling through.
Where are you headed?
Actually, tomorrow I head home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where all have you been around here?
Everywhere. I
Yeah?
went down to Cincinnati,
Oh, wow.
Cleveland,
How long have you had?
about a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. What did I
Most
find?
impressive, or what did you like the best?
Well, I like everything. Today I was at the James Garfield National Historic Site. Yesterday I was at the Mansfield Reformatory.
Cool. Where Shawshank was filmed?
Yeah, well actually I never saw the movie, but now I'm going to watch it.
Okay.
Since I've gone through the whole...
I mean, otherwise it's a fabulous movie.
Yeah, yeah. And then before that, I went to American Sign Museum in Cincinnati.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever been or
No,
not.
I'm not.
It's pretty cool if you like signs,
Sure.
which I actually do. So all the neon and history of it. What else did I do? Drove through Amish country yesterday.
Nice. What, Burton, or did you go south?
South.
Okay, down in Sugarcreek?
Yeah, Sugarcreek. Oh, I saw the Cuckoo clock.
All right.
You know what's funny about the Cuckoo clock, though? I went, I was in Germany in a city called Treehouse, which is in the Black Forest region.
Yes.
Have you been?
I've been to Germany, yes.
Yeah, and they claim to also have the world's largest cuckoo clock. So I looked it up, though, and Sugarcreek's is 23 feet tall, and Germany's only 15. So
Oh.
there's lies going over
They
there.
call Sugarcreek Little Switzerland.
Yeah, I saw that. It was
Very
beautiful
good.
there.
Did you eat?
I ate a lot of cheese.
There you go. You can't go wrong with
I ate
that.
like an entire block of cheese yesterday.
All right. Good. It's good stuff. Fresh
Yeah.
from the source. Well, that's
I just had a wonderful 10-minute conversation with a local who's never been to Lake Erie before. This was her first time. And she had been to Germany, so we were talking about the cuckoo clock, and she was telling me to check out Cedar Point, I think she said, amusement park, if I'm ever back down by Cincinnati. But we just had a little sit and a chat. You can probably see them still sitting over there. Well, I got another laugh from somebody, not sure if they just laughed to make me feel better, if they actually find me funny. But there's some words behind me, and some guy was stopping and took a picture, so I said, yeah, what do you think that says there? And he was like, well, it looks like Dimitri Artemy, and I was like, yeah, it could be like Dimitri Armatry, but it looks like they mixed up a few letters. And he was like, yeah, but then I thought, well, maybe it'll be like a cool name of a band one day. And he laughed, so I can feel good about myself for the moment. I am here in Lake Erie in Geneva, Ohio. My final night. It's really, really pretty. You can see this behind me and just around. It's absolutely stunning. And I usually like to use these last nights of my trips to reflect on not only the places I've been, but also my own self and my learning and growth. I've met a lot of really cool characters along the way this trip, from Frank and all the others who let me into all those museums that weren't open, to the Mansfield prison yesterday, to driving through the Amish country and the Cuckoo clock, to meeting a great couple today on Lake Erie who did an entire hike with me and learned a lot of really cool things and shared a lot of funny stories. I met up with my friend Ian in Columbus. We got to catch up and reminisce about our old days at Ramapo. It was just really fun. And I also got to explore Annie Oakley and James Garfield. And what I learned from them was being open to adventure and trying hard, and you're gonna grow as long as you keep moving forward. And to me, that's been really a synopsis of what's been going on the past year and a half for myself during the pandemic that we just had gone through, because I did a lot of self-reflection. And what I really found was that you have to just go for it. You got to be an adventurer, you got to be open, you got to explore. And this trip, I talked to everybody about everything. And I met a lot of really cool characters who I don't think I would have met if I had come with some other people. So that's really the beauty of traveling alone, doing some solo travel. So thank you, Ohio, as the sun sets on Lake Erie. So sets on our trip, but I'll be back. And until next time. A great trip going all around Ohio. I had an amazing time. I feel like every vacation I take, I come back saying, well, that was the best vacation ever. I don't know. I guess I just always have a good time. That's a good habit to have.